Hello everyone, it is me, Ash, but you can call me Ocean Master. Of course, it is that Friday time again, and I'm here with another piping hot baguette of insane things. Yes, still here. This is the baguette, this is the piping hot baguette. In the week that NASA were forced to respond to Marvel fans asking them to save Tony Stark from his isolation in space in an actual movie trailer, the world sent further reminders that humanity is precious and it's weird and there's no real justification for us being the dominant species. Really, it should just go to naked mole rats. We've all seen Kim Possible. They have their shit together. Just give it them. As well as all that, we've had in Russia a high-tech robot that appeared at a forum who turned out to be a man in a suit, which is important as it's literally another thing predicted by The Simpsons, woo, Twilight Zone. And in Hawaii, a species of endangered seals has been warned not to get eels stuck up their nose. And in Scotland, one takeaway restaurant is offering a full deep-fried Christmas dinner, which is exactly how it should be done. But anyway, let us get down to that juicy screen stuff. Play the sparkly new intro, Heppel. Attack of the insane thing! 9. James Gunn is merrily ripping off Superman. Despite all of the controversy and the whole tweet dealio, James Gunn's next movie is going to be a superhero movie after all, okay? It's not going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and it's not going to be for Marvel Studios, and he's not even directing it, but it's still the next new movie he's credited on after Avengers Endgame. It's also nothing like you'd expect, since it seeks to ask one fundamental question. What if Superman was actually a demon and not a good guy? And stunningly, the whole filmmaking team aren't even disguising the fact that they're ripping off Superman to answer that. Not just the trope or the idea of an alien Superman, but actual shots from Man of Steel. You could understand all of this if it were being made by Warner Brothers, who were gamely allowing the parody, but it's actually a Sony release that is so close to the original that you have to wonder how the hell they're getting away with it. Still, let's hope they don't notice because it actually looks really, really good. Demon Superman, we're all here for that. We are, aren't we? We're all here for Demon Superman. 8. Someone has stolen Avengers Endgame's website. You'd have thought that Marvel would have had the title for Avengers 4 lined up for years now, but whether they actually did is probably up for debate, with some pretty persistent rumours that they had other possibilities lined up at various stages, like Avengers, oh shit, or Avengers, and then just the dial-up ringtone noise for about 10 seconds. I hope it's playing. Unfortunately for them, the fact that someone either guessed or leaked the Endgame title a while back has given the studio an almighty headache, because some clever rascal went out and cheekily bought the www.avengersendgame.com URL before Marvel even managed to. The owner registered the URL when Infinity War opened, actually before there was even a hint of it being the title, and is currently using it to redirect to Fox's Deadpool website instead. So why is he doing it? Money? Fame? Is he a DCU fanboy with a grudge? No, he just wants tickets to the world premiere, in his words, because his wife wants to meet Thor. Is that love or is that love? It's touching. 7. Deadpool Mocks Fox. You can always rely on Deadpool to say the things nobody else is willing to. Well, maybe not always actually, because his latest release is the PG-13 cut of Deadpool 2 that's been rebranded as Once Upon a Deadpool. The one-night-only release, which actually must have cost a fortune for them to put on for such a limited run, has some new scenes and lots of the delicious sweary adult goodness cut out of it, because won't somebody think of the children? It came with a launch trailer that Ryan Reynolds basically used as an opportunity to advertise the merits of absolute hard rockers Nickelback, because, of course, that is what the people need. Rise up, Nickelback fans, now is your time. We're ready to be appreciated. Hilariously and somewhat naughtily, the teaser also included a barb at Fox's own Marvel movies, which Deadpool is obviously born from. In general, with Fred Savage disrespecting Fox's licensed Marvel movies as second-class content, like if the Beatles were produced by Nickelback. It's music, but it sucks. That's rude. That's just rude, that is. So it seems the charity work this cut of the movie, which saw Fox donate a portion of all ticket sales to Fudge Cancer, is doing extends to giving Nickelback some love too. They really need it, guys. 6. The Oscars might not have one host. The Oscar host saga this year has been another unfortunate publicity nightmare for the Academy, with Kevin Hart becoming the latest person to be punished for past transgressions in his early comedy. When he refused to apologise the way Twitter users agreed was correct and appropriate, or something like that, Hart ended up being fired from the hosting gig. Since then, there has been lots of rumours of possible replacements, but it might be fair to say that lots of comedians might not be all that keen to take the job with so much scrutiny over their past. Given the way comedy has changed in the past few years and reactions to it, it's inevitable there'd be others. And now, the Academy are rumoured to be abandoning the single host model that they've always gone with in favour of bringing in multiple celebs and buzzy people to throw to commercials, because apparently they wanted the added headache of having to make sure they hire multiple squeaky clean people rather than just stringently checking one. What could possibly go wrong? Also, buzzy people, are they bees? Is the star of the Bee movie, Barry the Bee, hosting with a friend? We will have to see. 5. Study suggests James Bond has a severe drinking problem. Academics are a funny breed, all told. When they're not smoking catnip to see if it gets them high, but then confusing it for marijuana, which does, and producing a whole botched study on smoking joints, which is real, I saw it on Google, so it must be true, they're concluding that cats are liquid, or that playing music directly into a vagina makes it more appealing to a baby than playing it through a stomach, which I guess makes a lot of sense. And thanks to this intrepid and not at all entirely unnecessary compulsion to explain things that nobody asked for answers to, a new report has decided that James Bond has an extreme drinking problem. Obviously a fan of the banter, the report writers called their paper License to Swill, presumably to cascading applause, and concluded that his consumption counts as severe and is often in the potentially fatal range. It also includes the stunning revelation that he often engages in risky behaviour like having sex with enemies, sometimes with guns or knives in the bed, and that MI6 ought to be responsible and get him help. This is literally an actual science paper, and an award-winning one at that. 4. Does Netflix hate Gossip Girl? In the same week that Netflix seemingly confirmed that no one cared enough about their Marvel shows to rank them in the top 10 most binge-watched shows on the platform in 2018, they've also been accused of reverse favoritism with another show. Yes, that's a thing apparently. As spotted by comedian Lane Moore on Twitter, the description for Gossip Girl on Netflix sounds like it's been written by someone who really doesn't like the show, or who was possibly overlooked for a job writing it, or something like that. We don't know. There's a vendetta here. The official description says the show is about rich, unreasonably attractive private school students who do horrible, scandalous things to each other, repeatedly. To be fair, it's not inaccurate, and I back it, but well, there you go, salt, some salt, a serving of salt for you, a salt sachet. 3. Solo soundtrack can't win awards because someone messed up. The qualifying requirements for Oscar consideration are apparently a lot more complex than you might have thought, and it's come at a cost this year. Unfortunately, the late great Jóhann Jóhannsson's stunning Mandy score will not be considered because the film was released on VOD before it completed its qualifying theatrical period. The composer died this year, and that means one of the best scores won't be in it, with a chance of justifiably winning an Oscar that Jóhannsson's work would also warrant. Sad, head shake indeed. Slightly more annoyingly for Disney, they won't have a chance of winning an Oscar for Solo score because someone messed up. Not because they didn't want it to be considered, but because someone literally just missed the deadline. They forgot to hand it in, which must have been their one job they messed up. Variety reports that John Powell and John Williams' score missed the November 15th cutoff date, and someone at Lucasfilm is definitely in the bad books for it. Oof. 2. Gollum Reborn. You can't get moved in Britain at the moment for talk of Brexit and Theresa May. And whilst entertainment news and politics don't always overlap that much, this week has seen the worlds collide, thanks to Andy Serkis and Gollum. The famed performance capture actor revived his performance as Gollum whilst dressed as May to parody the Brexit situation, and it is both remarkably funny and very, very odd. The video, which is titled Leaked, footage from inside number 10 Downing Street, sees Serkis debating the merits of the latest Brexit deal, including such glorious lines as, "Oh precious, our agreement. This is it, our deal. Yes, yes. We takes back control. Money, borders, laws. Blue passport says." Oh, that was a horrible impression. I'm very bad at impressions, is what we've learnt there. 1. Sonic the Hedgehog's poster. A live-action Sonic movie was already going to be a difficult sell for some, and it's now suffered something of a marketing setback after the decision to release a poster that is divisive at best and just awful at worst. The 5-second motion poster only shows Sonic's silhouette speeding through a line of rings before posing in the foreground, but it's very clear immediately that something is not right with the design of the famous blue Sega mascot. For a start, he's way too muscular, like creepy muscular, and even more worryingly, his limbs are just too long. He looks like some sort of unholy mutant monster, and the worst of it is that the decision to hide his design in shadow means everyone is probably imagining something far worse than the reality. Ugh. Bit of an own goal there, really. Use those muscly legs to run far away, you strange blue freak. And that is all on this week's episode of Insane Things. What weird and wonderful findings have you seen come forth from the screen realm over the past 7 days? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. As per usual, I've been Ash, this has been What Culture, and we've been trapped in the cerebral mind hole of insane things. See you again next week, and thank you for watching.